Hey, I'm Craig. Welcome to Let the Light In. Today we're looking at the Mars M1 Enhanced version. All right, brand new, done up and all that kind of stuff. Now, this is an interesting one here today because the old Mars M1, right? You might think, well, what's so brand new about this enhanced version? We will find that out. But first, the old Mars M1, you can actually no longer purchase it on B&H. You cannot purchase it on Amazon as far as I can find. So unless you find it at another retailer, you won't be able to buy the old version. You're pretty much going to be forced into buying the new enhanced version. So what is this enhanced version, and do I want to be forced into buying it? Well, it doesn't matter because it's the only one available. But first off, let's go off with its headline features. And I'm going to preface this review because I've reviewed the Mars 4K in the past. That's just a transmitter receiver itself. It's not a monitor. I've reviewed the Mars M1 in the past, and that was the base version of this enhanced version. And what we are going to find out is we're going to find out that there may not actually be that much new with the enhanced version. In fact, there may not be much enhanced at all. All right, so some things I'm going to tackle in this review, and some things I'm actually just going to refer you back to the Mars M1 review to take a look at if you're interested in those kind of specific things that I'm going to be talking about. So first of all, let's go with its headline features, all right? It can wirelessly monitor video from up to 450 feet. Now, if you want to look into more of my experience with the transmission and the reception capabilities of this product, then go check out the Mars M1 review right here. I'll try and remember to throw a link up in this video. Now, I had an excellent experience with the Mars M1 and the Mars M1 Enhanced as far as transmission goes, because the exact same equipment is in the M1 Enhanced version. So Hollyland claimed up to 450 feet of distance of reception. I found, now I do have to preface this in saying that I live in the country, all right, so I don't have a bunch of signals, roaring all about me, and the country that I live in is generally open, all right? There's not a lot of blockages as far as buildings or nature goes. With the Mars M1, I was able to go up to, and with the M1 Enhanced, I was able to go up to 820 feet in distance in getting reception, okay? So this is fantastic as far as the power that it produces to launch its signal over distances. Now, also take into perspective that I live in the country, so if you live in the city, you're gonna get different results, right? You've got a whole lot more frequencies bouncing around. This product does feature smart frequency selection, so it's gonna choose the one that's going to be less inhibited but I did have a fantastic experience as far as transmission signal and reception goes with this, okay? If you wanna learn more about that, go check out the Mars M1 review. It's got a transmitter and receiver mode. So you can hook this up, HDMI, transmit this to other Mars M1 monitors. You can transmit it to phones, to tablets that are running the Hollyland app, and receive the signal on there and turn your phone and your tablet into a monitor themselves. So this is quite a powerful tool, right? It's a field monitor, it's also a transmitter, and it's a receiver all in one. So it's genuinely quite a powerful product that I do enjoy. They claim that it has new capsule antennas, and I'm gonna be honest, comparing it to the Mars M1, I actually don't see anything different about the antennas. So maybe the specific technology is in them. They say they're lower profile. They look the exact same to me, I'm gonna be honest. In fact, there's a lot that looks the exact same to me. So that's a new feature. The new antennas are a new feature. It has a new record and playback function. So for example, this is live because I have it hooked up HDMI, but earlier I recorded something. So you can record using the record button, then you can hit play and you can bring back, you can record up to 2 minutes of content, and you'll see here is the old 2 minutes of content, and you can pause it and you can scrub through in the timeline. Now, disappointingly, you cannot have multiple clips. It will only save and store one clip. So you're gonna see the kind of constant theme within this review is this is enhanced, but it's not that enhanced. I don't know all that exactly has been enhanced with this monitor. So it's got a record function. It is only able to record one clip, and I'm not able to swipe. I've recorded multiple clips onto this device, trying to find like a media button. There is no media button. There's just to simply go back to the monitoring function. So there is no media kind of playback. You can record it, right? So if I record it again right now, right, give a little wave to prove it's this one, I hit stop, then I go ahead and I hit play right here. It's gonna load up what it just recorded. And unfortunately, there's no way for me to select the video that I had before. It's always going to be the most recent video that gets repeated and played back to you. So that is kind of, it's a nice feature to have. It's a nice feature to introduce, but unfortunately it's not necessarily like a game changer. I would be much more impressed if you could go back and select different clips for reference, you know, especially if you want to reference, if you're doing a shot over and over again and you want to have the best shot. There's no necessarily easy way to, within the monitor, compare those two clips, even if you recorded both of those clips on. So I would really like to see that feature come where we are able to select different media clips that we've recorded to the monitor and say, hey, I want to play this one, I want to play this one. It's fine to me if you hit the playback function and it comes and it plays the last clip recorded. That is completely fine to me. But I want to be able to here go and select into a media pool and select more clips that I've also recorded. And I think that's some pretty valuable and decent feedback for them. All right, so you can see that I've disconnected the HDMI, and if I go ahead and hit the play button here, it still can pull up that video. So it's stored into the device itself. Again, there is no way in order to actually select the media. It's just going to be the last video that you recorded. The screen of the monitor itself, it's a 5.5 inch touchscreen, 1920 by 1080. Now here you may be able to see that it is in 4K. It can go 4K 30 on the monitor. And it can go 4K 30 through the SDI and the HDMI in and out. So I've got it running 4K right now, but the resolution of the monitor itself is only 1920 by 1080. You are able to have kind of some LUT presets that you are able to load onto the monitor. The brightness is the exact same as the Mars M1 version. It's 1000 nits, 1000 candles per meter squared. So that is the exact same as well. It is boasting the same latency at 0.08 milliseconds, all right? So are you gonna be able to precisely follow focus? It's pretty good, unless you're gonna be moving pretty quick, all right? So we're just running through the signal through an HDMI cord and then recording on the Sony a7 IV, all right? So that is what latency looks like. It's pretty good, 0.08 seconds. Okay, here we are. It's the Mars M1 Enhanced. It's got new antennas. We can go ahead, take that off. There, they're removable. I don't really see that they're absolutely any different. They look the exact same as the previous version. Down here, I'm gonna read Mars M1. Down here, you've got your thread to screw it in. Over here, flip it in so we can read it a little bit better. We've got our HDMI out right here and our HDMI in. Then on the back, we've got our 3G SDI in, our battery plate, our DC out 8.4, DC in 7 to 16. We've got our power button located right there. And finally, we've got a USB-C, another threading option, and our headphone jack. And that is what makes up the Mars M1 monitor. Now, as far as the screen goes itself, again, 5.5-inch touchscreen, 1920 by 1080 resolution, 1000 nits of brightness. It does have color temperature adjustments, and the screen is supporting Rec 709 color gamut. It can be displayed in the 16.9 aspect ratio as well as some other aspect ratios. So it's got 16.7 million natural colors. It can work with the Mars 300 Pro, the Mars 400S Pro, all of the Mars 4K products it can also work with, as well as with tablets and phones that we have already mentioned. So as far as the other features go, all the features that this monitor previously had, it still has. So for example, it still has, waveforms, it still has vector scopes, still has histograms, zebras, focus assist, all that kind of stuff. All of that is still there. The only new features that have been added are the new low profile antennas, which I'm gonna be honest, they don't look any different to me, and the record and playback video function. Those are the only two new features on the Mars M1. So overall, what I'm gonna say about this product is it's not that enhanced. It's still a great product, right? It's a monitor, transmitter, and receiver built all into one. It's got this nice kind of tough case that's built onto it. That's just part of the case, right? It doesn't come with a case, but it's got like a built-on shell. So that's gonna be able to take bumps and knocks in a good amount. Now, one thing that I would like to see is, for example, I've got a field monitor right here, and this came with a mounting bracket arm, right? Nice little feature, probably didn't cost too much to make, and it means I can just place it right onto the hot shoe mount of my camera and have it there. Hollyland provides no such accessories. It's just the monitor, power cable, and the USB-C adapter to be able to input LUTs into the monitor itself. So basically, what is new about this new version? That is the question that I am left asking. I don't necessarily want to make this like an overly negative review, because I don't think that inherently this is a bad product. It's not. It's not a bad product. I think it's a great product. I think it's certainly potentially a market-setting trend product to have, transmitter, monitor, receiver built into one thing. You get a couple of these bouncing around your studio for people to have and to use. I think that's a great little bonus. So I think overall this is a great tool. I think as far as launching a new enhanced version, and as far as me reviewing it, it's not that exciting. You can get excited about the product. There's not much to get excited about as far as what has been enhanced within the product. All right. So if you want to buy it, it is a great little tool. All right. I absolutely do support it. $500, that's the price. You can get it. The links are down below. And genuinely, I do. I think it's a great little product, especially you'll see that I'm more excited about it in my Mars M1 original review. This is something to get excited about. Unfortunately, the enhanced version hasn't necessarily been that much enhanced. So there's not so much for me to get excited about today. It is a good product though, right? I don't want to bash it too much, but not a whole lot has been upgraded. All right, so there you go. That's the Mars M1 Enhanced. It does have great transmission, reception capabilities, all right? Maybe the screen should be made a little brighter. Some are gonna complain that 1000 nits is too dark if they're using it outside in a sunny location. I'm living in a wintry, cloudy Canada right now, so that's not too much for me to complain about. And then other than that, again, as I already mentioned, I would want to see, I'm glad for the record and the playback function. I would like to see a media pool be selectable and to have that 2-minute clip to be expanded. All right, so that's my feedback. That is my review for the Mars M1 Enhanced version. If you want to buy it, again, links are down below. Other than that, if I go on anymore, I'm just gonna be repeating myself ad nauseum. All right, take care. Have a wonderful day, and remember to let the light in. Let's go ahead and take a look at the actual features in the monitor. I'm sorry for making it an infinity screen, but it's better than just looking at a black screen so that we can see what the features actually do. So just hitting the screen is going to take away our menu system. It's going to bring it back. We can lock the screen into place and tap the unlock icon in order to get access back to it. So you can lock it off so that you don't just randomly hit things. Hitting up on our top bar brings up some different options. You've got the wireless menu. You can mess around with the display itself. There's the system menu. And then finally, there's the device info. So up here on the wireless menu, you can switch between transmitter and receiver. If you hit OK, it'll go ahead and just kind of reboot itself into the operation to do either transmitting or receiving. Now you see 4K up here. That's because my camera is recording in 4K. Hitting that doesn't actually do anything. Hitting the top bar always brings up the same menu. For example, hitting the battery, right? Same thing, always brings up the exact same menu. So that's the top menu as it is. Let's go ahead down to the bottom here. We've got different scopes, histograms, vector scopes, all that kind of stuff, and they are movable. They're not resizable. There's no kind of pinch to zoom or anything, so that is going to be the size that it will always be. But you can place that wherever you so desire, okay? We've got more scopes. Here's the other one here, and you can have multiple of the scopes up at the same time. We can really overload ourselves with information, all right? So all of that is available. We've got zebras, and again, all of these things that I'm showing you are customizable. We'll get into that in 1 second. So they are customizable, but I'm just showing you for right now. We've got our peaking, our focus assist, right? Lots of different, fat fingers here. Lots of different options. So for this particular option, you're not able to have focus assist at the same time, all right? But you can go ahead and put your scopes up as well. Here we can just outline the border, more on that later. And then we can also have LUTs. Finally, we can also reorientate the screen itself. So if we want to customize any of these bottom bar options, what we're going to go over is we're going to hit this bottom right button right here, and this brings up all of our customization options. So for our waveform, for example, we can go Luma or we can go RGB, and you'll see the difference right there, right? So there's Luma, there's Luma, there's RGB. We can change the intensity of what we're looking at. We can change the transparency of it, all right? So very customizable. I really like that. Again, with our histogram, right? Transparency, and there we are actually able to change the size of that in particular. We've got our vector scope up next, so they're small, there is a medium size. All right, we're going to take down all that ridiculous. Next up is our zebras, which of course we can change our percentage, our upper and our lower limit, all right? So that is customizable for you. Here we go. Focus assist is next. Let's get those zebras out of here. There's our peaking, right? We've got our sensitivity. We can really be picky with that. We can also change our color. We can change it into grayscale. So there's focus assist. Then we've got our aspect mark ratio. So we've got 16:9, 16:10, 4:3, all these different options. And then you also have a custom option. Now, while you may kind of be disappointed that it's percentage based up here, as you look down at the bottom of the screen right here, you're going to notice it will actually say the ratio that you are putting it to. So don't rage quit in the moment. It will tell you the ratio. 3D LUTs, you can import your own LUTs, as you see there. You can do that through actually the USB-C port. There's a little attachment that comes in that, and you can plug in a USB drive and import LUTs that way. So we've got different LUTs that are preloaded. We've got Canon C-Log. That's preloaded. We've got Canon C-Log 2, and then we've got Sony S-Log, Sony S-Log 2, and finally S-Log 2709. Next up, we've got our crosshatch. I will say something about this customization menu here is as we slide back and forth, it's not as reactive as necessarily I would want it to. But we've got our crosshatches, so we can go ahead and put that in. Right now I've got it off. We can put in a center mark. Oops, let's take down all these confusing things. Crosshatch, here we go. Bring it back. So we've got our center mark on and off. We can go 3x3, 4x4, or 5x5, whatever you're liking for color as well, okay? Close that out. The last thing that we have is anamorphic. So we've got different ratios that we can squeeze it to. We've got all those presets. And again, we have a custom ratio, right? So we can go this way or we can go this way, whatever you want to do. I think the Siri that I just reviewed was 1.6 if I remember correctly. So it's not within the pre-built section, but it is a customizable section. And we're going to bring that back to 1 since we are not shooting anamorphic. So there we are. Those are all of the options within the Mars M1 enhanced monitor transmitter receiver.